Hi students, we are discussing kinematics. We are completed horizontal motion, that is body moves with uniform acceleration. We are completed. The same uniform acceleration in a vertical direction. That is today we are going to say this one. Vertical motion. The body moves with the uniform acceleration. Here there are we have two categories. The first one is freely falling body and the second one is vertically projected body. These two are examples for a vertical motion. A body projected vertically up and another one is a freely falling body. These are the two things today we are going to discuss. So this vertical motion we consider as the equations of motion. So far we studied equations of motion for vertically freely falling body. Equations of motion we are going to study. Equations of motion. In which direction? Vertical motion. So this one is, the first one is freely falling body. This is freely falling body. What is freely falling body? A body dropped from certain height. We can call it as freely falling body. This is certain height h. A body is dropped from a tower of height h. Let h be the height of the tower. What is this? Tower of height h. It is dropped freely. Dropped freely. So it will falls down due to gravity. So acceleration due to gravity. So the acceleration acquired by a body acquired due to Earth's pull is called acceleration due to gravity. So here we are defining acceleration due to gravity. What is acceleration due to gravity? I am defining acceleration due to gravity. How we can define this one? It is represented with the small letter g. Acceleration due to gravity. That is acceleration acquired by a body due to gravitational pull. Due to gravitational pull is called acceleration due to gravity. It is represented with letter z. So this acceleration due to gravity is here for freely falling body. It is vertically down. So its acceleration A is equal to g. So this g value, it has a constant magnitude at a given place. Its value is 9.8 meter second inverse, which is at a given place we can consider as a constant value. At a given place we treat remains constant. It won't be changed. So this g value we are take it as constant at a given place. Okay. So it's what is its direction? This g is always vertically downwards. Always down. Vertically downwards. Okay. This is the direction. What is its direction? The direction of g is always vertically downwards. It is a vector quantity. G is a vector quantity. So what is its units meter second to the power minus 2. Its unity same as acceleration. Its direction is always vertically downwards. Its magnitude is 9.8 meter second to the power minus 2. This we take it as constant here. It is a vector quantity. Now here the acceleration due to gravity, it is independent of mass. G is independent of mass. Independent of mass. So these are the things you have to learn. G is independent of mass. For 1 kg body, acceleration is C. For 2 kg body, also same. So it falling down during its downward motion. What happens? Its velocity increases. See, now I am going to write equations of motion for a freely falling body. Now I am going to apply equations of motion for a freely falling body. What is equations of motion for freely falling body? The first equation of motion is V is equal to U plus AT, isn't it? V is equal to U plus AT. I will write V is equal to U plus AT. The first equation of motion is V is equal to U plus AT. So this we can write it as, this is first equation of motion. Second one is S is equal to ut plus half at square. Third one is v square minus u square is equal to 2as. The fourth one is Sn is equal to u plus a by 2 into 2n minus 1. Fourth equation. So these are the 4 equations of motion. Now we are going to apply for freely falling body. So what is V? Velocity, initial velocity for freely falling body. What is initial velocity? We consider initial velocity u is 0 if it is dropped freely. Initial velocity 0. So what happens? The equations of motion, V is equal to u. U is 0, so A becomes G. So it will get GT. V is equal to GT. That is V proportional to G. This is from this V proportional to T. What does it mean? Every 1 second, it's a downward motion. Its velocity incremented by 1 unit. That is G meter second inverse. That is the meaning. Second one is S is equal to ut plus half at square. So u0 becomes half gt square. So that is G is constant. This is the second equation of motion we have from this. S proportional to t square. So its shape is parabola. Its graph is straight line passing through origin. This is the height of the tower of height h. So S proportional to t square. Okay. And the fourth equation is, third equation is v square velocity acquired is u0 2as 2gs s or h distance traveled. So velocity with which it hits the ground is square root of 2gh. Suppose a body is dropped from a height h. With what velocity it will hits the ground? So it hits the ground with velocity square root of 2gh. So velocity incremented every 1 second by g units. And the distance traveled in nth second is u0 g by 2 into 2n minus 1. 2n minus 1. So g is constant. So distance traveled in nth second is proportional to 2n minus 1. Distance traveled in nth second is proportional to 2n minus 1. Okay. So these are the equations of motion for a freely falling body. These are the equations I am applying for a freely falling body. Then you will get these equations. From these equations you will get see with what velocity it will hits the ground. So a body is dropped from a height h, with what velocity it will hits the ground? Square root of 2gh. With what velocity it strikes the ground? Suppose you have the questions like this. A body is dropped from a tower of height h, what is the time of descent? So time taken to return to this falling down. You apply S is equal to ut plus half at square. So apply S is equal to ut plus S becomes h is equal to half gt square. How we got this? From S is equal to ut plus half at square. From this, the time of descent is equal to square root of 2h by g. So time of descent is given by the formula square root of 2h by g. So time of descent is directly proportional to square root of root h. Okay. So that means if height of the tower is more, time taken to reach the ground will take more time. And this time of descent is inversely proportional to square root of g. That means at different places g value changes. So from planet to planet g value changes. As g is less, time taken from same height. So two stones are dropped into different planets from same height. So the planet having the more gravity will take less time. If the planet has more gravity, it will take g is more, time of descent will be less. So how they are related? Td is inversely proportional to square root of root g. So this is first one. A body is dropped from a with what velocity? Second point. With what velocity it will hits the ground? Velocity with which it hits the ground. Velocity with which it hits the ground is square root of 2gh. So I will write here. So we are discussing freely falling body, and we are applying these equations of motion to freely falling body that we discussed. So a body is dropped from a tower of height h. How much time it will take to reach the ground? That is called time of descent. I applied S is equal to ut plus half at square from our formula u0. Then S becomes h, half gt square. So t becomes time of descent is square root of 2h by g. So with what velocity it will be? This is A. With what velocity it hits the ground? With what velocity it hits the ground? Velocity it hits the ground. Hits the ground. For this question, what is your answer? V is equal to square root of 2gh. With what velocity it will hits the ground? Square root of 2gh. How we got this? By applying v square minus v square is equal to 2as. u0 for freely falling body, a becomes g, s becomes h, displacement. So v is equal to square root of 2gh. So this is the point number B under freely falling body. C. how much average, what is average velocity of the body? See, average velocity. What is average velocity? Average velocity is initial velocity 0 u plus v by 2. So that is initial velocity 0, with what velocity it hits the ground? Square root of 2gh by 2. So that is square root of gh by root under. So this is average velocity acquired by the body. So average velocity we can also write it as, the second one, average velocity we can also write it as the same thing. Average velocity we can also write it as total displacement by total time. Total displacement, total time. Thus also we can write total time. What is total displacement? H. Body is dropped from a tower of height h. Total displacement is h. So what is total time? It will take square root of 2h by g. So 2h by g. So here root h times get cancel. Square root of root g, you will get a root g h by 2. So the same thing, this is not d. So the same thing we can write like this also, r. So average velocity I got as square root of gh by 2. The same one we can write like this also, total displacement by total time. Still we got a square root of 2h by g, square root of gh by 2. That is average velocity. Okay. That is average velocity. So the velocity value incremented by every second for freely falling body. If velocity is the next one, the ratio of distances traveled, ratio of distances traveled in successive seconds, ratio of distances traveled in successive seconds. Successive seconds I want. Successive seconds means 1 second, 2 seconds, in 3 seconds. Ratio of distances traveled, I want this one. Successive seconds means 1 second, in 2 seconds, in 3 seconds, in 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. In successive seconds. Ratio of distances traveled in successive seconds. In first second, ratio of distances traveled in successive seconds. In 1 second, next in the second second, in the third second. Ratio of distances traveled in successive seconds. Successive seconds means in first second, next second second, third second, and so on. So for this answer is, you apply S is equal to, say for this question you apply S is equal to u plus, apply S is equal to u plus g by 2 into 2n minus 1. You apply this fourth equation. So what you will get? Sn is equal to, in successive seconds, that is first, second, third, and so on. So u0, you will get Sn proportional to 2n minus 1. So what you will get? First second, ratio of distances traveled in third second is equal to, you put n is equal to 1. I will write here. S1 first second is to distance traveled in second second, third second. You put n is equal to 1 here. You will get 1. 2. 2 into 2, 4 minus 1, 3. 1 is to 3 is to 5. The next one is 7 and so on. So the ratio of distances traveled in successive seconds, that is in 1 second, second second, third second and so on, is 1 is to 3 is to 5 and so on. What is the ratio of distances traveled in 1 second, 2 seconds, in 3 seconds and so on? So what you will get? Apply S is proportional to T square. S is proportional to T square. So that is, we have S1, S2, 2 seconds, 3 seconds is 1 square is to 2 square is to 3 square. That is 1 is to 4 is to 9 and so on. So what is the ratio of the next one? Ratio of timings, ratio of times to travel first meter, second meter, third meter and so on. Ratio of times we want. So for this question we have to answer. We want ratio of time to travel. First meter, this is a freely falling body. So first meter, 1 meter for traveling for 2 meters. Second meter, this is the third meter. This is the second meter, first meter, like this. I want ratio of distances, U0. So for this, yes, we want a time. T is equal to, T proportional to, we have T is given by square root of 2h by g. From this expression, T proportional to root h. So if h is 1 meter, so ratio of time is, for 1 meter it will take how much time? Root 1 meter, root 1 seconds. For 2 meters, for total 2 meters it will take root 2. So for 2 meters it will take root 2 meters. For 3 meters it takes root 3 seconds, proportional. So this is proportional. That means there is some constant, proportional. I want a ratio of timings, ratio of times of first meter, for second meter, third meter and so on. I want this ratio of timings. So what is that? What you will get? So I will write here. First meter it will take root 1. Ratio, common term get cancelled. So this proportionality term get cancelled in ratios. 1 for second meter, total for 2 meters it will take root 2. So you subtract root 2 minus 1, you will get. For third meter it will take root 3. For 3 meters it will take root 3. You subtract this time root 2. Then you will get a distance time taken for third meter. So what I am doing? Distance time taken for 3 meters, first I calculate. Then I subtract time taken for 2 meters. Then I got time taken for third meter. Okay? And so on. So for that, what is the next one? Fourth meter, how much it is? For fourth meter, how much it is? Root 4 minus root 3. And so on. Okay? And so on. Next one. So we are discussing this freely falling body. Okay? So if it travels a distance x, say, suppose we are discussing freely falling body. Suppose it travels a distance x meters in nth second. 1 second before that it travels a distance x minus g units. In n plus 1 seconds, in n plus 1th second, it travels x plus g. That means in every second, so in every second, distance traveled by freely falling body, incremented by dash units. Answer g units, g meters. What is that unit? Meter. G meters. That unit is meters. So in nth second it travels a distance x, Sn. See how we can prove this? Sn is equal to u plus g by 2 into 2n minus 1. We have this nth second. u0 for freely falling body. Sn is equal to, this is Sn. This is Sn minus 1. This is Sn plus 1. Sn is equal to u0 for freely falling body. G constant. It is g by 2 into 2n minus 1. Okay? So it is 2n minus 1. Distance traveled in nth second. Okay? Into g by 2. Okay? S n plus 1. How much? You substitute instead of 2n, instead of n you write n plus 1. N plus 1 minus 1 into g by 2. So what you will get this? That is 2n plus 2 minus 1. Again plus 1. 2n plus 2 minus 1. Here it is 2n Okay, so this Sn is equal to distance traveled in nth second 2n minus 1 into g by 2. I take it as x units. We are going to calculate distance traveled in n plus 1th second. Instead of n, you substitute n plus 1 minus 1 into g by 2. So this one is plus 2 minus 1, it becomes plus 1 into g by 2. So this we have to express in terms of x. So that is, I can write it as 2n minus 1 into g by 2. That is 2n into g by 2, 2n into g by 2 as it is, plus g by 2 here, minus g by 2. So I have to get plus g by 2. So I have to add g here, 1 unit. 1 minus half becomes plus half units, g by 2. So this can be written as x units. So this 2n minus 1 into g by 2, we can take it as x units. That is x plus g units. So the distance traveled in n plus 1th second is x plus g. Similarly, we can prove that distance traveled in n minus 1 seconds is distance traveled in n minus 1 seconds is, instead of n u0, instead of n g by 2 into 2n minus 1, 2 into, instead of n you write n minus 1, n minus 1, n minus 1 minus 1. Okay, so that is, we can write it as g by 2. G by 2 is a unit into 2n minus 2 here is minus 1. It will become minus, this we have to express in terms of, this is g by 2, 2n minus 2 minus 1, it will become minus 3. So we have to write minus 3. So this can also be written as g by 2 into 2n minus 1 1 unit. Here it is, we can write it as 2n minus 1, because this will becomes x minus g. So here 3 by 2 minus g. So you can write it as, this one is minus g. So what it will becomes, this will becomes x minus g units. You check whether these two are equal or not. G by 2 into 2n, g by 2 into 2n first term, minus g by 2 minus g by 2, minus 1 minus half minus 3 by 2. So you will get same thing. So this can also be written as, why we have written like this, this g by 2 2n minus 1 makes x units, x minus c. So what is the conclusion? If distance traveled in nth second is x units, then the distance traveled in n plus 1 is x plus c. Before that, 1 second before, is x minus g seconds. Okay. Similarly, we can prove the next one. So we are discussing freely falling body. Okay. We are discussing freely falling body. That is, similarly, if velocity at a particular instant of time is v x units, velocity, a particular time t seconds, a particular time t seconds is x units. So what is the velocity at t plus 1? Immediately next second, velocity is, we can write it as x plus g units. What is the velocity at velocity in t seconds? Velocity at t plus 1 seconds is x plus g units. incremented. Here velocity is x minus g units. So this is the velocity 1 second before, t minus 1 second. So similarly we can prove this one. So starting is 0 for freely falling body. So we can say that every 1 second for a freely falling body, velocity increased by dash units. Answer g units. What is g? Unit is meter second inverse units. So how we can prove this one? Proof. So velocity in t seconds. So what we have? Velocity, apply v is equal to u plus at, that is gt for freely falling body. So v is equal to gt. This is the velocity at t seconds. You call it as equation 1. This is vt, velocity at t seconds. You call it as equation 1. Velocity after 1 second, that is velocity in t plus 1 second, I want. So u0 instead of g, t instead of t you write t plus 1. So this can also be written as gt plus g. So this one we can write it as gt, I take it as x units. So x plus g units. That is velocity incremented by g units. Velocity I want just 1 second before I want. So instead of t you substitute t minus 1. So this can be written as gt minus g, that is x minus g. Okay. So what is the conclusion? Velocity for a freely falling body, every 1 second for a freely falling body, velocity increased by dash units. How many units? G units. Okay. Suppose at a particular instant time is velocity is x units. Immediately 1 second after that velocity is x plus g. 1 second before x minus g units. That is about a freely falling body. So we are discussing freely falling body. The next one is vertically projected body. So the vertically projected body. We are going to discuss now. So let us consider a body vertically projected up with the initial velocity u. So consider a body or particle projected vertically up with the initial velocity u. Now explain its motion, describe its motion. So this is the ground. So you are projected from the ground. So what happens? As it is moving against gravity, gravity is always vertically downwards. Acceleration due to gravity is g. It is always down. Velocity is up. So here the velocity, let it be v. So velocity, accelerations, they are in opposite directions. So the body is retarded. So velocity, so it is slowing down. So its velocity gradually decreases at maximum height. So at maximum height, it reaches a maximum height, their velocity becomes 0 at the maximum height. Velocity is 0. Now I want a maximum height. So what is maximum height? Find its maximum heights. Maximum height. What height it will rise? I want this first one. So what height it will rise? Find its maximum height. So to answer this, I am apply v square minus u square is equal to 2as. 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 So this. So before going to this answer, just I will explain how these equations of motion for vertically projected body, acceleration you take it as, this acceleration you take it as a is equal to minus g. That is retardation. Minus g indicates retardation. So you apply equations of motion. First equation of motion is v is equal to u minus gt. So instead of a, I am writing minus g. First equation of motion. Second one, s is equal to ut minus half gt square. This is second equation of motion for vertically projected body. Third one, v square minus u square is equal to 2as. Instead of a, minus gs. This is third equation of motion. Fourth one, Sn is equal to u minus g by 2. We have to write, instead of a, you put g. Minus g into 2n minus 1. This is the fourth equation. So I applied equations of motion for vertically projected body. What I did? Simply I replace acceleration with the minus c, because acceleration is always vertically downwards. So when a vertically projected body, the body has uniform retardation motion. That means acceleration is vertically downwards. That's why we have to put a is equal to minus c. Now we want maximum height. How high will rise? At the maximum height, velocity is 0. At the maximum height, velocity is 0. So you apply v square minus u square is equal to 2as. 2as. You apply this form. So velocity is 0 minus u square 2a, instead of a I am writing minus g, s h, maximum height. So h is equal to, maximum height is equal to u square by 2g. So minus minus get cancel, 2g. So what is the maximum height it will rise? H maximum is equal to, maximum height is directly proportional to u square, because g is constant at a given place. So that means if velocity of projection is doubled, maximum height it acquired is increases by 4 times. That is the meaning. If velocity is tripled, maximum height attained by it is increases by 9 times. That is h proportional to u square at a given place. So this is the formula for maximum height attained by it. H is equal to u square by 2g. So here the angle between velocity and acceleration is 180 degrees. Velocity is up, acceleration is down. You keep in mind, acceleration due to gravity always vertically downwards. Its direction is always vertically downwards because it is a gravitational pull. So this is maximum height for vertically projected body. So here is also we can prove that as for vertically projected body, Similarly, we can prove that for vertically projected body, suppose the body is projected, distance traveled in nth second is, let it be x units. Distance traveled in nth second is x units. X units. Then the distance traveled just 1 second before is x minus x plus g units. Units. Similarly, we can prove distance traveled in n plus 1 the second is, and we can prove that x minus g meter units. So for vertically projected body, so we are discussing vertically projected body. For vertically projected body, every second distance traveled by it decremented by dash units. Answer is g units. What is g? Meters. Unit is meter. Units. So here, if distance traveled in nth second is x units, 1 second before that it is x plus z. After 1 second, x minus z. That means it is decremented as it is moving up against gravity. Distance traveled by it in every second decremented by g units. Similarly, velocity also decremented by dash units is decremented by g units. What is unit here? Meter second inverse. Magnitude is g, unit is meter second inverse. So that means if velocity in nth second, velocity in particular second, nth second is x units. Velocity 1 second before is x plus g. After 1 second is x minus g. So velocity, since it is rising up against gravity, velocity also decremented by g units. So similarly, we proved this one. Proof of these two is similar to freely falling body. That is left to you. Okay. The distance traveled by a vertically projected body. During last second of its upward journey is how much? Dash. Answer g by 2. Answer is g by 2. This is question mark. Answer is g by 2. The distance traveled by a vertically projected body during last second of its upward journey is how much? Answer g by 2. It is constant always. That means independent of velocity of projection. Velocity of projection. How we can prove this? Okay, proof. Consider a body projected vertically up with initial velocity u. Okay, distance travel, for example, for rising up it will take n seconds. So what is the time of ascent? Time of ascent is equal to time of ascent at maximum height, velocity is 0. Maximum height, velocity is 0. I want the time of ascent. So I am apply v is equal to u plus at. v0 u, a becomes minus z into ta. So this gives time of ascent is equal to u by z. So this is the formula you keep in mind. A body is projected vertically up with initial velocity u. How much time it will take for rising up to reach maximum height? Answer u by z. So time of ascent is u by z. Suppose it will take n seconds for rising up. So n is, we have, suppose a body takes n seconds for rising up. A body rises n seconds to reach maximum height. So what is n? N is equal to, from this formula, u by g. Okay, from this formula we have n is equal to u by z. Then what is the distance traveled in nth second? Distance traveled, we want distance traveled in nth second. In nth second, how much? So I am applying which formula? Sn formula. So Sn is equal to u, since it is rising up, acceleration becomes minus z, n minus half. Okay, so that is u minus gn minus half minus plus g by 2. Okay, I got this Sn, but n is equal to u by z. So can I write from this expression u is equal to ng? So instead of u I am writing ng from equation 1. Okay, so here instead of u I am writing ng or gn minus gn plus g by 2. So minus gn plus gn get cancelled. So you will get g by 2. So what is the conclusion? Distance travelled in the last second of its upward journey. For rising up, suppose it will take n seconds for rising up. Distance travelled in the last second is answer g by 2. It is independent of velocity of projection. I proved here. I got answer g by 2. There is no u here. So it is independent of initial velocity. Clear this one. Next one. So we are discussing vertical motion. Okay. So what we discussed today? We discussed a freely falling body and vertically projected body. So this is today's lesson, freely falling body and vertically projected body. Okay, tomorrow I will continue this lesson. Thank you.